Practice in front of that mirror, girl, you twerking it on the dance floor. Practice in front of that mirror, girl, you twerking it on the practice in front of that mirror, girl, you twerking it on the dance floor. Practice in front of that mirror, girl, you twerking it on the floor. Twerking it on the dance floor, twerking it on the dance floor, twerking it on the dance floor, twerking it.
Hey guys, so Robin and I are going to take you through our last week of training. I started a new phase based off of the APRE, which stands for Auto-Regulatory Progressive Resistance Exercise Protocol. And if you guys aren't familiar with it, below I'll link a study that was done in 2010 by Mann et al. And I'll also link a Facebook page that was written by the strength guys on this sort of programming, which we've started to incorporate into some of our programs now. And I've been trying it out myself. So essentially what you do, and you sort of missed the first one, but you work up to an estimated, in my case, 5 rep max, and that will be based on how you're feeling that day. And so you end up taking that estimated 5 rep max to an RPE of 10, so concentric failure, and that's why I've got my spotter on hand here. So what I ended up getting with, I think it's 315, was, let's say, 6.5 reps, maybe 7 reps. And so because I got 2 reps above my 5 rep requirement, I added 10 pounds. So I went up to 325, and then I took that to failure. So it's basically 2 all-out sets to failure with your predicted 5 rep max. And if you just shit the bed on that day and you only get it for 3, then you would adjust your final set based on that performance, and you would reduce the weight accordingly. So it's a little bit of a different protocol, but the good thing about the auto-regulatory system is that you can choose your load based on your actual max that day, since a 1 rep max is sort of a moving target rather than something that's static over time. So then after those sets, I moved into 3-stop eccentric bench presses, which you can see me doing here. And the main purpose behind this is just to get a little bit of extra volume that you sort of miss out on with the APRE protocol, and also to help me control the eccentric a little bit better and stay tight, especially off the chest, which is something that I've been struggling with a little bit lately and sort of always have.
Yep. And then I did sumo deadlifts. So these, to be honest, were supposed to be control or like speed, I guess, technique deadlifts, but I haven't been training as frequently as my program demands, simply because I've been like working so much, 35 to 40 hours a week waitressing, and it's really hard on the body, so I can't train as often as I'd like to. So when I do train, I wanted to go a little bit heavier. So yes, 200 by 5 by 3, which is a huge PR.
And so this is actually another day here. So I do my APRE bench one day, then I take a rest day, aka a biceps day, and then I come in and do my APRE squats. And there's been a bit of a learning curve for me with this. It's been a while since I've taken sets of squats to complete failure, and it's quite difficult to do, especially I've still got that nagging injury. And it sort of reminds me of the old max OT style of training, where you kind of take a couple high intensity all out sets to failure. And if nothing else, this certainly has helped me mentally learn to sort of push myself and learn what it really means to take a set to an RPE of 10 again. And
we're thinking that it's likely, I guess, a disc or like a spinal injury, because it's been like 8 months and it's not letting up at all. It's the same pain. So yeah, it's probably something a little more permanent than like a muscle,
unfortunately,
injury.
Yeah. I was quite pleased with these squats, though. You can see from the angle there that looks pretty consistent throughout the exercise. I think through the set. I think that because of my injury, my squats have started to deteriorate a little bit. I do good morning a little bit more than I used to. And a part of that also, I think, has to do with the fact that I've been playing around with a new stance. If you've seen me squat in competition before, you sort of notice that I take a pretty narrow stance and kind of just go straight up and down with the bar. And I've tried to widen my
low
stance.
bar, high bar squats. That's what his squats used to be like. And now they're like, he's practicing like a more of a low bar technique with the wider stance to limit depth, but it's just not great.
It just doesn't seem to work for me.
Or like, he has short femurs, so he doesn't really need to do that technique, I don't find.
Yeah, I have super short femurs and I have really strong quads. So taking a closer stance, actually just feels a lot more comfortable for me, and it's always worked for me. So I'm thinking about making a switch back to there, just because I just not really particularly fond of the
Are those bounce deadlifts?
These are actually, these are Doug Miller deadlifts. So I just bounced the bar off of the ground. But I did reset a couple reps because I was starting to lose my grip. But yeah, I think that reset deadlifts should be the main focus of any program.
Wasn't there that one study that was like 95% of your max, you should be able to bounce deadlift that five
times or something?
So it's like clearly not what you should do in practice, like if you're a power lifter or you're training for strength, because like it's just completely unrepresentative, and the consecutive reps after the first are not deadlifts.
No, they're not deadlifts. It is essentially a different exercise, but I want to put them in there just so I can get a little bit more frequency out of my deadlifting and it not be so taxing. So you can do 5 reps with a touch and go that you wouldn't be able to do that. That wouldn't have the central fatigue that you get from resetting every rep. So
I was going to say, it's a lot easier on your CNS to do those.
Doug Miller does
deadlifts.
So these are so-called hyperextensions. I'm doing these for glutes and hamstrings, and Brett Contreras put out an excellent video if you check out his channel.
Looks pretty much you're not following his advice there.
How so?
Look at your lower back. It was an extension instead of flexion, like Brett.
Yeah, I know. I hadn't seen that video at that point.
And these are
Swiss ball triple threats.
They're hard. They look easy, but they're very, very difficult, and they leave you not being able to walk.
Yeah. These were actually a staple of my hamstring training all throughout my last off season. And basically what you do is you do a leg curl, and then you do a glute bridge, of which I'm doing a bastardized form here. And then, then you do a hip thrust and then a glute bridge or whatever.
Like a straight leg hip extension and then now a bent leg glute bridge on the Swiss ball. And it's pretty hard on your core too.
It is, it's a tough exercise.
It's a good exercise. I really like it.
So you do 10 reps of each movement and then do that for 3 or 4 sets. And you'll feel your hamstrings, I guarantee you. Yeah. So this is yet another day. So I'm bench pressing 295 for 80%. I think on this day I did something like 14 working sets of bench and worked up to 92.5%. So here I'm doing 335 for 3 singles. And you can see the bar is just moving up pretty easily. And I'm really pleased with that because my best bench in meet was 336, so just 1 pound over what I'm putting up here pretty easily. By the Arnold, I'm hoping to be able to put up 385, and this is 335 for a pretty easy double.
Good pauses too, really good form.
And then I dropped back down to 315 for 2, and bench felt really good on this day. I felt like I was able to stay tight, especially on the chest, and our path was good.
This is my bench. So these are strict sets and they're touch and go, and they were hard because it was, the bench is what suffered the most through my job because I use my upper body so much at work. And anyway, yeah, so, but I was pretty happy with these. I have gotten 115 for a really easy pause double before, but like the volume sets on these, 110 for touch and go double, and then stripped down to 80 pounds for 5. And then I think on my last set, I actually did do 115 for a double, and then stripped down to 80 again. But yes, it was very difficult. Still really happy. I think it was like 4 or 5 sets in total. I'm being lazy with my technique, as you can probably tell. They're touch and go, so yeah, I let it kind of, the eccentric wasn't super controlled, but I was using that dare chest mount.
That arch though.
Yes, and I use my arch. I don't ever not use my arch. I think that's the 115. Oh, that was a struggle. I like to bench without a spot, because then I'm forced to get the weight up. So I'll do it when Jeff's not looking, because otherwise he'll like come over and try to spot me. Safety first.
So this is still that same workout. I finish off that workout with some full range of motion wide grip pull-ups for 4 sets of 8.
Repping his De Novo Nutrition shirt.
Yeah.
Bought courtesy of Robin.
Yeah, it was a birthday gift.
B-Day, one of his B-Day gifts.
And then after this, I didn't film it, but I go and do some reverse grip lat pull downs. Again, another emphasis on full range of motion. Just got to keep that back workout, or that back work in there. I still have bodybuilding aspirations, so I do keep those movements in.
Look at you. You look good.
So this is my second deadlifting session of the week, and you'll see that I'm resetting every rep here. So this was 70%, and I just did a simple 5x5, so with 405, and then this is just another angle. I won't put all the five sets. I think I'm wearing straps here, which is maybe part of the reason why the form looks so fluid. But my grip was starting to fail because I just haven't been deadlifting with any significant amount of weight. So I noticed my grip strength kind of sucks, but it should come back quickly. Yeah.
I, on the other hand, never use any grip assist, ever. I don't think I've ever used wrist straps or whatever.
Yeah, I know you haven't. I've never seen you wear them.
No, don't need them.
So you remember this day. This was a really, really hard day because I deadlifted, and then I went and did 5 sets of 8 on squats. I started with 315, and it actually felt pretty easy. And then Robin was like, that was too easy. That was like RPE 7. And I was like, oh, wow, okay, here we go. And I put on 355 and did that for a bunch of sets of 8, and it just was pretty brutal, to be honest, especially after the deadlifting.
Yeah, I mean, that's a thing. Like, Jeff wrote this program, and like you gotta actually like do the program to know what it's like. It's almost like hard to do it. Like, it's hard to, like, his RP on the first set was low, but I mean, like, after all the volume deadlifts, it's like you either have to cut back the RPE or cut back the sets, because
yeah, the RPE changes throughout the course of 5 sets, right? So, and
you're so exhausted already that you interpret a lower RPE as being harder and higher. Yeah, because like you're just so exhausted. But like your speed wasn't like indicative.
No, I know.
Of, like,
I agree.
RPE, like the actual RPE.
Yeah, so. I agree.
Yeah.
Overall, I was pretty pleased with this day. This was one of those days that I sort of just had to like.
And that's still your wide stance, I think.
I know.
Squats look good. Like sometimes
they actually do look.
They look good.
Decent. Yeah.
It's just like nothing's gonna feel great right now with your potential.
So I'm torn between whether I would be more comfortable switching back to the close, straight up and down stance that I used previously, or if I should stick with this one. What I don't like about this one is the tightness.
You're clearly getting depth though. Like, I don't know. But it was the other sets that weren't.
It's the next week that they were kind of shady.
Oh, my front squats. These were the PRs for me. So I did 90 by 8, which is pretty crazy in my opinion. And then 85 by 8 for 3 more sets. And they were really hard. My quads and glutes are so sore after this workout. I previously only ever had like, I think it was like a 10 on the bar or something on each side for front squats. So I really brought my weight up like by 30 pounds for 8. I was doing like 55 or 60 pounds for 8 before this, like these last couple of programs. And then this is just like volume bench. Wow, I look so pretty.
Hamstring split.
Just don't look at my face. I think there's a really brutal one. Okay, my face is covered here. But anyway, yeah, I'm doing 95 by 5 for like 5 sets, I think. Just
again, not using a spotter for psychological reasons.
Yes, I guess. Oh, I think this next set is the bad one. I don't want you to see.
It's not bad.
No, my face. Okay, we're gonna get rid of this video. Ew, I'm so ugly.
Stop that. This set is good. What is that? That's 100 pounds.
Oh yeah, 100 pounds by 5. All right, so I guess I'm allowed to look less aesthetic here.
Your bench looks awesome though. Like you can tell they're grinders. No spot. You go for a 5th rep anyway. You're definitely thinking you might have to just.
Yeah, I was thinking I don't put the clips on because just in case I have to dump the bar. And these are my Cossack squats, and I was doing these with Jeff, like holding on to Jeff, like the TRX bands, except Jeff's arms, just to take away resistance because they're so hard and they're hard on the hips, and like you need to be really flexible and mobile. And I'm so glad that I consistently did them in my last 3 strength-ized programs, TSG programs that Jason wrote me. So here I am finally doing them with weight. I did a set with a 3-pound dumbbell as a joke to send to Jason, and then with an 8-pound dumbbell for sets of 12.
Alright guys, so that's our training week. Stay tuned for more training videos, and like the video and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you for watching.